Does this happen to you where you're trying to do a draw shot, okay, and then you do something like this? Well, now it's not just ball in hand, but the cue ball is out, right? Well, let's repeat this, but this time I'll show you how not to scoop the ball or actually play it like that, okay? Number one, okay, I'll just show you. Simple one is basically is playing the cue ball right below the center, okay? Why would I do this in this case is this one. If I play like a stop shot or leave the cue ball here, you see where the 8 ball is? I can't cut it from that side. So I need to come at least here. Here would be perfect. So I'll show you some of these potential scenarios where you need to do a little bit of a bottom right or bottom right and bottom left side, okay? But for this scenario in itself, I will just need bottom onto the cue ball and perfect execution for the draw shot. And now I have the shot on the 8 ball for this pocket. So here is the most common mistake why the draw shot did not work when I was showing you just recently. Okay, so number one is how you're holding the cue. Okay, on the back end, that's the problem. The front end is fine, but the back end, once you hold it, look at my muscle, look at this tension. Okay, that's the problem. You're holding it way too tight. So when you're doing this, you're holding it very tight. Loosen up on the back, okay? And even when you're following through, you see my muscles are not tense, okay? Even if I do it really quick, my muscle is not tense. But if I hold it already tight, and then when I do this, okay, you can actually, what happens is this, watch. When you're holding it lightly here, and then when you do the follow through, this is what happens. Look at the back end of the cue. You see how it's lifting? That means that the forehand or the shaft or the tip actually goes more down. Therefore, you're scooping the cue ball or jumping the cue ball. And this is what happens when you're holding the cue too tight. Okay, you're thinking you're going to hit it below, but you're actually scooping it. Now that you're back, I wanted to also show you something, okay? The bridge length, okay? So the shorter the bridge, really what happens is that you can't really follow through much, okay? You see, it only went maybe past the cue ball about an inch after, okay? But where you really want to be is somewhere around here. What this that will give you is the shorter the bridge, okay? You can't really do anything and you're kind of like jumping it or whatever, okay? I know I double tapped it, but I just wanted to give you that position as to what other aspects when you're doing a draw shot, when you're doing like, you know, very low, okay, in order to draw it a little bit back. And the more power you use, the more it's going to come back, okay? So, and another point that I wanted to point out actually is, can you do, if you were doing these, you saw that my draw shot before was kind of like right here, which is perfect where the 8 ball is, by the way, it's right here. I'm moving the balls just around. But if you do a little bit of a, let's say bottom spin with a little bit of a bottom right, okay, this is what happens. You see the draw actually comes back this way, okay? Now watch this. It's a bottom right onto the cue ball, or actually bottom right with the draw shot, okay? So now why would I do that? Exactly this, okay? Reason why is because when this ball was right here, okay, and I would do this here, it doesn't matter even if I put, you know, stop shot right here, I can't get onto the 8. And even if I would play something like, let's say, let me show just some of the pool scenarios that you might land in. So let's say I'm playing just a little bit of a bottom, okay, and then I blocked myself. So it doesn't matter, even if I would do this, again, this side, I never wanted to be on this side. So two options for me was basically a bottom right, coming back, you know, like this, pushing either this ball or this ball out. That's number one. And number two, if we do it a little bit more stronger, as long as we can see the 8 ball, that would be perfect, okay? Again, this is a bottom right but this time I'm doing the a little bit differently on the 9-ball. There you go. So the key takeaways from this whole video is this: don't hold your cue very tight, even when you are doing a full stroke onto the cue. Okay, don't tense up. Okay, just let it loose. Okay, not too loose, but let it loose. That's number one. Number two, when you are down on the position, okay, practice these draw shots by basically doing, maybe this will be a stop shot, maybe this will be just a little bit of a draw, and then this here, maybe it will be the one jump that I was showing you. Okay, so this is about the part, and this is why I said take one of the stripe balls, okay, or like I actually have, practice ball where you can actually see where I'm hitting. So I would be number 2 or 3 even, okay? But if you don't want to spend money on that, take one of the stripe balls, okay? So you see right here is that line, okay? Let me position it the right way, okay? You see, this is the line where I want to hit. That means that right here, I want to hit right into this spot, okay? And number 3, when the ball is very short, okay, on a short distance, you don't want to hit it very hard. Now, reason why is just because if you're hitting it on a short distance very hard and you do this, okay, you're gonna end up doing something like that. The shorter the distance, okay, the shorter the distance, the force doesn't need to be that long, because the ball, what happens at some point, actually goes forward, okay, goes backwards and then forward. So the force, or actually the speed you're doing on a short distance, must be a little bit less, okay, like this. See how much of a draw I got by hitting it just a little bit less, okay? And one of the drills that you can do, okay, is this: make the short distance like this. See if you can draw the cue ball at least to this part. So this will be bottom, but just a little bit, okay? Now we're gonna position the same thing, okay? Let's do a little bit more, okay? Now the cue ball needs to come all the way back here, okay? So again, bottom, a little bit of a bottom, and then just follow through. Now I put this one a little bit too much. So what is the follow through? Follow through means that you need to do this, okay? The cue needs to always stay right there. So you're kind of like hitting into the cloth, but not really. So right here, see that? And of course, I said the length of the bridge. You can't do that when you have it here. This usually bridge, or the closer it is, you do this for safeties, okay? That's what that bridge is for, that length of the bridge, okay? And so I would say 6 to 12 inches, somewhere like around there. It's really up to the player. Some people love it this much, but holding the cue distance between the tip and the bridge, but this is the distance because they have the whole part. Some people have a longer bridge, okay, but then they can do this. So it's all in practice. Practice, practice, practice.